Okay, so in this video, let's have a look at how we can increase monetization from the blog. This is the blog post that we created, and it's an item directly from Amazon. And as you can imagine, somebody coming from Twitter, having a look and seeing this item, scrolling down, they may think this isn't actually for me, which is going to give them two options. They're either going to click on one of the categories over here, one of the recent posts, or they're going to just click away and leave your website. What you need to do is present them with other products that are of similar theme to the one they're already viewing. So to do this, we're going to employ the services of the Ads plugin, which is the Advertising Manager plugin. And what we're going to do is we're going to take items from Amazon and what we're going to do is take items from Amazon.com and make them appear under the post. So if the person comes along and doesn't like the item that they're looking at least they've got other options, other items to choose from further down. So how we do this is, first of all, we go to Amazon. Now, if you're an affiliate of Amazon, when you visit Amazon, you should see this grey bar across the top, which is really useful because it allows you to do things like link directly to specific pages. So I'm just going to go for iPod to start with. Now this post is for the iPod Touch. So actually what I want is to search for iPod Touch items from Amazon. These first few items look pretty cool and a close match. And they're all pretty expensive, and obviously the more expensive the item, the more commission you get paid. So I'm going to want this item, that item, and that item to appear on my blog. And actually, we've already got this item appearing. So all I'm going to do is right-click on each of those and get them to open in a new tab. So we can go to them in a moment. Open a new tab. And open a new tab. And here's the first item that we were looking at. And all we're going to do is click on link to this page. And that's going to show the HTML for that item. All I'll do is untick the box of show border, highlight the HTML, right click on it and copy. If we go over to our WordPress admin panel, we'll create ad, paste the code in and click import. Now we can name this ad something so we can relate to it, because as we put more and more ads in this section, obviously we're going to want to know which each one is, or what each one is rather. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to call this iPod Touch, spelled correctly, 1. And here I can choose where I want this ad to appear. Now I'm not going to want this to appear on every page. I'm only going to want this to appear on posts. And I'm not going to want this to appear in all categories because it's an iPod Touch. So I just make sure that all I've got checked is the iPod Touch category. I do that by that. So it's important that if you're going to show an ad for an iPod Touch, that it only appears on pages or posts within the correct category on your blog, in this case iPod Touch. Click apply, and then save. So what we need to do now is to make a change or edit the code slightly within our WordPress theme, so we can get these items, these ads, to actually appear within the blog, but be controlled by the settings of where we want them to appear, as in only the iPod Shuffle category and only on posts. So to do that, we're going to go back to our FTP program, open up the folder where our theme's installed, and look for the file called single.php, and we're going to click edit. And this is that file. Now you notice that in this file I've got this bit of code that I've manually added. This bit of code isn't part of the PHP code as standard. It's this code here that I've highlighted. Now this bit of code is in the PDF file that's also included in the files that you downloaded with this videos. So there's no need to squint at this video and try and guess what this text is. It's actually displayed in the PDF resource report that you've also downloaded. What we need to do is, using this code, is in between these two marks here, is enter the name of the ad that we created a moment ago. We created ads called iPod Touch 1, iPod Touch 2. We didn't call that one iPod Touch 3, but we should have done. I'm going to change that. As if by magic, it now says iPod Touch 3. So what we're going to do is, if we type the name of that ad in here, iPod Touch 1, and just for the moment we'll save that file and upload it back to the server. Now if we go back to the iPod Touch, go back to the main blog, go to the iPod Touch category, you see that this displays all of the posts within that category. But when you click on a specific post within that category, what should turn up, hopefully, is one of the iPod Touch items that we added into the advertising section of our control panel. And the reason that that ad is appearing there in posts in the iPod Touch section is because of the settings when we created the ad. Remember, when we put these in, we chose the settings only to display them on posts and only to display them in iPod Touch categories. Just to prove that, if I go to an iPod Shuffle category and click on that post, then obviously that extra ad doesn't appear down here. Back to the iPod Touch category and choose any post from that category. As you scroll down, this iPod Touch will appear here. So this advertising manager plugin gives us tremendous control over what ads appear and where they appear. Let's just go back and edit the rest of this single.php file. Because what I want to have appear is all of these. I'll just put those in twice. Rename that to 2. Rename that to 3. So that means that all 3 of those ads will now show up. What I'm also going to do is have them centered. Just by putting the center open and close tags in there. So you can see I've got the code to make the ads appear. I've got one called iPod Touch 1, iPod Touch 2, and iPod Touch 3. Save this file, load it back to the hosting, go and have a look at post again. Again, exactly the same post. And this time when we refresh this, instead of one item being displayed, we've now got all 3 of the iPod Touch. We've got an 8 gig, a 32 gig, and a 64 gig. And if we go back and have a look at the 15 item accessory bundle for the Apple iPod Touch, and again these items will appear, these ads will appear for the iPod Touch. So we're getting very targeted and related ads specific to our posts. Now we can go and repeat that by doing the same thing with Amazon, only this time searching for iPod Nano items. Because we've got an iPod Nano category on our blog, using the same technique we've just seen a moment ago, we could display an 8 gig black, a 16 gig black, and an 8 gig black iPod Nano. Or we can display all 8 gigs and have a pink one, a purple one, and a silver one. And again, because of the settings within the advertising manager, we could make sure that those iPod Nano ads only appear under posts within the iPod Nano category. And having such targeted ads and related ads is what's going to help increase the revenue from your blog.